You're listening to Creeping Wave Radio, a documentation of our decidedly creepy escapades here on YouMind, once the mics go off.
What do I do? Oh, God. What do I do?
Well, I'm not God, but maybe I can help.
Who's that? Margo? Is that you?
No, my name is Lia.
Lia, are you one of the fallen angels?
No, I never fell, but I am a demon, if that's what you mean. You can just say it. It's not something to be ashamed of.
A demon.
Margo warned me that you were a little neurotic.
No, I'm not. She said that? Why would she say that?
Because we're sisters. We tell each other everything, especially when it involves a new house guest.
Well, don't get too attached.
Why not?
Old Scratch, or your father's sending me on a suicide mission into the Soviet vampire's lair with 3 newly old geezers and a vampire who I think I just killed.
Oh, Uncle Anatole's fine. He's been through much worse, believe me. You should have seen my sweet 1600 birthday party.
I wouldn't have thought you threw a lot of parties, down here.
Yeah, we've got about 2 millennia of bad press working against us. As for Anatole, he'll just sleep it off like he always does.
If you say so.
Come on, walk with me. I'll show you my garden.
Sure.
Beautiful, aren't they?
What's that?
The flowers, silly.
Oh, yes. Sorry. It's just... Where is that music coming from?
It's coming from the flowers.
Oh, yeah. The flowers. Of course. Wait, what?
Things are different here than they are in your world.
Yeah, guess so.
The flowers here aren't just pretty things. They have songs and stories to tell. I come here to listen to them, to talk to them. It's such a shame that they'll all wilt and fade away. Of course, that's what makes them all the more precious. I tend to fall in love with things like that. Things I know will inevitably wither and die.
It sounds like a Tumblr post.
So you were saying something about vampires?
Yeah, Soviet vampires.
Like Uncle Anatole?
Right.
Oh, thank goodness. You're so melodramatic. You made it sound like you were going up against something dangerous.
Aren't they?
Hardly. I find them sad, really.
Why?
They're a classic example of mortal hubris. Humans who had a brief flirtation with immortals and desperately jealous create the Serpan contraption in an attempt to live forever. In the end, they just wind up becoming pathetic ether junkies looking for the next fix. Nothing like the amaranthines they're mimicking.
Amaranthine?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend.
Why? What does it mean?
You don't remember hearing that word before?
It's not really a common term where I come from.
No, of course not. How to explain? Ah, here we are. You see this flower here?
Sure.
If I pick it like so...
Wait, don't!
And say, tuck it behind your ear. In time, its bloom will fade, its petals fall away, and eventually it will die.
Well, yeah.
Like most humans do.
Most?
But this flower over here is an amaranth.
I don't think I've ever seen one before.
That's because they don't often grow in the mortal world. But sometimes, when the conditions are just right, one takes root. And if I pick it and tuck it right here, it will remain untouched by time, eternally beautiful, forever in bloom.
So, the vampires are trying to mimic these flowers?
Not the flowers, but the people, the amaranthines. Humans whose bloodlines have been manipulated to create eternal bodies for a race of beings that have none. Beings who humans sometimes encounter in their dreams.
There was a guy on the podcast who talked about something like that once. That interdimensional boogeymen were trying to create a race of immortals and farm human energy or ether or whatever you call it. But he was crazy, just a raving conspiracy theorist. Are you telling me he was right?
Not entirely. They aren't creating immortal bodies to farm human ether. They're creating them as a prison. Your dimension is an oubliette for those among their race deemed too wicked to be tolerated by polite society.
An oubliette?
A place where people are sent to be forgotten.
What did they do that was so terrible?
Who could say? I think it's strange how humans envy immortality, watching all that you love languish and waste away. You never get used to that, demon or otherwise. The Amaranthines are blessed and cursed, and that once they're trapped in flesh, their memories slowly fade to nothing.
Cursed, sure, but how is that a blessing? Memories are all that we have.
Yes, and when they're lucky, those of their ilk find them and create new lives for them, planting new memories to fill their scoured minds.
That isn't lucky. Having someone else decide who you'll be? Never being able to fully shake the feeling that all the people around you are just carrying on an elaborate act? It sounds like hell to me. No offense.
I see. I hadn't thought of it that way.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I'm talking nonsense. Can we forget I ever said anything?
No, I'm sorry. I see I've touched a nerve. I'll show you back to your room.
Lia?
Yes?
If I make it back after today, I'd like to see and hear the rest of your garden. While, it's still alive.
I'd like that very much.
Yeah?
Yeah. Follow me, I'll show you the way back. The flowers down this path have the most wonderful songs.
Yes, I'm sure you're all rearing to go.
Well, not exactly, no.
Look at me. I can't stop my hands from shaking. And I'm pretty sure Steve is incontinent.
That smell isn't my doing, Jestin.
Just what are you implying?
Oh no. I better go see what this is all about. If you'll excuse me, Oh. Where did she go?
Will you two stop your bickering for one blasted moment?
Sorry, it's just when Nap isn't here.
Oh, hey guys.
Speak of the devil.
I really hate that turn of phrase.
Dreadfully sorry, sir. Won't happen again.
Ah, Napoleon. You're right on time. I was just about to present you proud warriors with your weapons. Of course, I. What's that behind your ear, Napoleon?
Oh, how did that get there? It's so weird.
Who cares about some cruddy old flowers? Give us our weapons.
Yeah, bring them on. I'm actually sort of a bit of a conscientious objector, you know, ever since I got shot.
Are you ever gonna let that go?
No.
I'm so glad to see you boys in fighting spirits. But let's save it for the vampires,
Yes, of course. What weapon do you have for me?
Ah, Adam. You are now the proud owner of these 2 golden PP7s. Just like in GoldenEye. There you are.
Twins! I'm so happy.
Jestin, to you I give this mighty crossbow.
Ah, it even has a little scope.
She's a beaut, all right.
Yes, and capable of firing 1000 FPS.
No idea what that is.
Feet per second. That's ridiculously fast.
Don't listen to the bad man, baby. You are not ridiculous.
I mean, is this going to be necessary? How fast could those vampires move exactly?
You're just jealous my weapon is better than yours.
And last but not least, there's Steve. I give you this gilded ram's horn, bathed in the hopeless tears of captive angels.
Ah, wow. Do I blow into it and summon my army of demons?
Sort of. You blow into it to call for help.
Oh, I see. Fun.
Ah, that'll be the shuttle. Hurry along now, no time to waste. Off you go, hobbling off in a blaze of glory. Not you, Nap.
Oh, jeez.
Be a good lad and wave goodbye. Smile while you do it. Yes. Goodbye, gentlemen. Fare thee well.
How could you?
What is it you presume I've done?
You've sent those old men off to their deaths.
Do you really think so?
It doesn't matter what fancy weapons you shove into their grizzled old hands. They're no match for a clan of vampires, and you know it.
Do you really think that the Soviet vampires operate a shuttle service to and from their secret lair?
Wait, if they're not, well, then where exactly are they going?
Dwindling Palms. It's a retirement home for old actors out in Beverly Hills. Here's a box with their things. Be a dear and throw it in the dumpster out back.
What the heck? Oh, gross. Graham's legs.
Yes, I believe they mentioned they would be making a pair of lamps.
Oh, jeez. Hey, wait. Oh, wow. Here's the button Not Hitler's brain gave us.
Oh?
Yeah. You press it to summon the freaks in a time of need.
How quaint. Well, take what you like. They won't be needing it where they're going.
You don't think people are going to realize that Vincent Price, Boris Karloff, and Peter Lorre have all been dead for some time now?
You have too much faith in humanity, my boy. All I have to do is update the Wikipedia pages. Between fidget spins, gulps of beer, and bong hits, whatever else modern humans have taken to in order to anesthetize themselves from consciousness, the majority of them won't be any the wiser. Those who take notice will make some long-winded rant about how the Bernstein Bears spell the last name, or glitches in the Matrix, and lucky you'll have a slew of new lunatics for your little podcast.
So, I'm going to face these vampires alone?
If you like, I really don't care what you do. Though I'd prefer it not be my daughters. Is that 2 notches in your belt you have now? Did you find my Lia to your liking?
I get the idea I'm not exactly her type.
No, you're a bit lively for her taste. Well, if you suddenly get the urge to be a hero and go save Cyrus from the vampires, you can borrow the car.
I'd never make it out alive.
No, it seems unlikely, doesn't it? Well then, if you'll excuse me, I have some Wikipedia pages to update. Ta-ta.
What are you doing here?
Margo, you really shouldn't be here. Your dad's really pissed off at me.
And so am I. I thought you were going to fight the Soviet vampires. Take a stand. Free Cyrus.
Not by myself.
No, not by yourself, because I'm coming with you. Honestly, how much help do you think those humans would have been anyway?
Well...
None. They would have pissed their pants, found a comfy spot to hide, and left you to fend for yourself.
Sounds about right. Can I get dressed at least?
Ugh. Fine. Happy.
Yeah, that'll do. Thanks.
Don't forget to grab your idiot box.
My what?
Your phone. The one we spent all that time weaponizing.
Oh, right.
Did Dad give you the keys?
Yeah, right here.
Toss them over. I want to drive.
Can't you just poof us there?
These vampires are no amateurs. They have enchantments cast all over that place to prevent something like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Keys, now.
Yes, ma'am.
Follow me.
Your dad drives a Saab?
Hell yeah, he drives a Saab.
Nice. So, everybody, I am here with the Heartbeat Trail. They are a local San Diego band, and they lent their music to this episode of Creeping Wave Radio. And do you guys all want to introduce yourselves, or?
Okay, sure. Hi, I'm Lia. I play the bass and I sing.
I'm Berkeley. I sing and play guitar.
I'm Matt. I play the drums.
And keyboards.
And keyboards sometimes.
I'm Edward. I play guitar.
Okay,
Great. So, describe the journey that eventually brought you to start performing and recording as a group.
I think Berkeley will tell that story best.
Well, Matt and I were in a previous band together called Nautical Disaster. And true to its name, it became a disaster and fell apart. And we decided we still wanted to play together. And so 4 of us from Nautical Disaster figured that band was more kind of a rock and roll band, and we wanted to go just a completely different route, wipe the chalkboard clean. So we got more into kind of lengthier, kind of trippier, spacier, David Lynchian cowboy weirdness, and kind of went on from there. We had 2 drummers at the beginning, which was super cool, and then we went down to 1 drummer. And we were at a show and saw this awesome band called Uniform Victor. And Lia was singing and playing bass with them, and Edward was playing guitar. And both Matt and I were like, we want her in the band.
They're our new band friends.
Yes.
We were friends with Black Hondo pretty well, and then but you guys are even more fun.
Yeah. So we talked to Lia after the show, and she told us that she also she also played bass in Mittens.
Yeah.
And we thought that was pretty funny because it seems pretty hard to play bass in
No,
Mittens.
okay, so what actually happened is
Or at least gloves would be better.
it's a little bit different. So like Edward and I went and saw the Heartbeat Trail play at the Whistle Stop here in San Diego, and we were such huge fans of theirs.
We were enchanted.
Yeah, we were like in love. We thought they were so cool. And then I was following them on Facebook, and Berkeley put a post on Facebook that said, we're looking for a woman to join the band, a female singer, and we don't want any wallflowers or whatever. And so I just was like, I want to be in your band. And they're like,
You say that to everybody.
you have to play the keyboard or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I can play the keyboard. I can't play the keyboard, but
We made her learn a little bit.
I pretended that I could just because I was like, I'll learn. I don't care. I want to play with them. So yeah.
Nice.
And then Edward came along after a little while.
Yeah.
We lost our bass player, moved up to Alaska. He was also in nautical disaster with us, so he bolted up to Alaska. But even before he took off, Edward was, like just such a loyal friend and awesome guy to be around. Toady. And Luke was like, "Hey, dude, want to come shred some heavy leads with our band, or what?"
Yeah.
Well, it's exactly how I said it.
Yeah, well, Edward had a guest appearance on our album Solon Carcosa, and just freaking ripped the guitar solo, even though he was on death's doorstep at the time.
Oh, yeah, it was really sick.
But he was, super sick, but he came through like a trooper. And on the song Falling, he just amazing guitar solo. And so after that, we were just like, you know what? We just want you in the band full time.
Yep.
So that's how it is for you.
Yep. And now I play
No
bass
choices.
instead of keyboards.
Nice.
And
When Damien left, you switched over to bass.
and then now Edward and Berkeley share guitar duties.
I still don't know how to play guitar.
Somehow you pull off really good leads without that.
Very cool. Yeah, you can fake it if you can do the chords. It's okay.
Chords?
It's all about the look in face.
So that's about where we're at right now.
Very cool. All right. So you had mentioned kind of the Lynchian sort of space music sort of sound. What kind of music or musicians tend to inspire you, and why do you think that is?
Well, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music, but I know I'm definitely inspired by like old Pink Floyd, old Genesis, and anything that kind of investigates stuff sort of over on the edge of what is sort of the normal
music. Yeah.
Normal music. So for me, it's that, and when I mention the Lynchian aspect, a lot of the stuff that I write about anyway has to do sort of with dreams and what is reality, what isn't reality, and just kind of questioning everyday life.
Plus, Berkeley has a wicked tremolo tone for his guitar that takes you right into that little vortex of dreamland, which is great.
Yeah, and I think we all sort of have different tastes, but there's definitely an overlap that happens there. Like, I know I love Kate Bush. Edward showed me Kate Bush, and I'm like super in love with her.
Yeah.
And Edward likes Pink Floyd also.
I think there's just way too
many.
many.
We could go on and on.
So much music.
We're not just musicians; we're music fans. So we're pretty voracious.
But earlier days, we were definitely getting into the trippier, more Floydier, some synthesizer-y kind of lots of delay stuff going on, and then we've sort of crept a little bit away from that, but the lineup has also switched around, so that's...
I'd say, too, like, pop culture in general plays a huge part in maybe not necessarily the music, but also the music. Like, it influences the content, but it also influences the sound. So, like, we've done cover songs from the Twilight Zone or songs about Game of Thrones.
You can pretty much track whatever it is I'm watching or reading at the time by the songs that I'm writing. So kind of try and draw a little bit of everything in so that people sort of have a touchstone, but throw a little curveball in there.
A little Lovecraft.
Yeah, a little Lovecraft.
Very nice. So I guess then that would lead me into, are there people in your life who you say would have inspired you to sort of pursue music or to sort of change your sound, change the direction that you were moving in, and how so?
Well, specifically, there's 3 people in my life. Lia, Edward, and Matt.
That's us.
I completely depend on them. I come in with a very skeleton version of a song, and then they go to work on it and make it wonderful and beautiful.
Yeah, and That's how we always get our sound, right?
Complimentary Berkeley, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I hope I've told you guys that before.
You have, but I just can't get enough hearing that, I tell you.
I have to be like the football guy and like say like my mom.
Oh, there you go.
I like, yeah, for sure. Like,
Just because she's always been so supportive. She thinks it's so cool. She
Your
loves
mom's
having
awesome.
music in the house. She doesn't influence like how I play. I think it's more in general that she's so enthusiastic about it that I do play. That gives me courage to like be like, it doesn't matter if I suck. My mom likes me.
I got to say, my dad has been playing since he was 4, and he still gigs to this day, and now he's in like the best band of his life. And just, I think, not for any direct influence, but just knowing like this dude can do it all his life, and he still gigs, and why can't I?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, hell yeah, have that in your life.
Yeah.
Definitely. Plus, my dad played on one of our albums, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He played on a couple of songs, right?
Yeah, a
very
couple
cool.
songs, keyboard parts.
Wow. That's awesome. So, what is your favorite song, each one of you, at this moment in time, right now, by any artist other than yourself?
Oh, jeez.
I'll answer this one
I
for
wish I had
myself while you
prepared
guys
this.
think.
Okay. Yeah.
Only because I like electronic music too a lot. I'm pretty into synthesizers from a long time ago from my dad and his keyboard stuff and this old Moogs and stuff, and that leads you into kind of electronic music and house music. And I was totally dying with, because I like entertainment and it to be fun, the song Skibidi by Big Little, or is it Little Big? Little Big, Russian techno band who makes their own everything. They make those videos and everything. They're like DIY, but they're so good, and it's hilarious.
Very bizarre.
It's bizarre, but I like bizarre stuff more than anything else. That's my answer. That's Matt. Edward.
I don't know. I didn't prepare for it, so I really like this band Ghost.
You would bring up Ghost.
I'm going to have to go with Ghost. I love Ghost. They're really good. I love the theatrical
them too.
thing. Their music's really good. And the new album, there's a song called Faith. It's like the second song.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It tickles all my guitar, fancies.
I guessed wrong. I thought you were going to pick Darkness.
I like
Get with the
Darkness,
times.
too.
Yeah. Darkness is so fun.
I do. I like a lot of like hard rock and metal stuff. So.
Me too. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Well, all right. I'm just picking something off the top of my head because I also didn't prepare. But I would have to say, if you ask me what I want to listen to right now, it would be XTC and
Nice.
probably.
What? Majors.
Yeah, I love that too. No, what's the one about like a sunflower? No. I like that.
Yeah.
I do want to cover Dear God at some point, though.
Well, yeah, that song. I love their entire catalog. I celebrate their entire catalog.
I like that.
I like that though. I love that. I love that song.
I like that by X.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time, and
They're
so
amazing.
I've listened to it a million times, but that's how I know I can listen to it again. I'm ready. And Berkeley.
Well, I don't want to sound like a retro fuddy-duddy, but the song that I cannot get out of my head for like the last 2 or 3 weeks now is Supper's Ready by Genesis. It's just an amazing, amazing, amazing song. So I'm going to offset that with Black Mountain's Druggernaut. I can never listen to that enough.
Yes.
Just the way the drums kick in on that, and just the the duality of the male-female vocals on it. It's just, gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, definitely.
What about Mothers of the Sun?
That's a great song. That is a great song.
That's the one I put
I mean,
in my
you can,
soundcheck all the time.
and honestly, I'm more of an album person than a song person.
That's
so.
true.
So, of your own catalog, or in any of the bands you've been in before, which is your favorite song that you have worked on?
I'm going to harken back to the early days just because it was more experimental. Something off of Dusty Totems like Astrophobe or DTs, because that stuff just went pretty out there, but it also rocked ass hard, pretty badass. So I had a lot of fun because there was a lot of fun factor as part of that.
Well, the album version of Astrophobe was a lot of fun because that was one
You
of
went
those
and messed
things
that up while we
where
were in the other room.
Yeah, I like every album that we put out or EP or whatever. I like to kind of throw in a little curveball for the band, and I do some little alternate recordings without telling them about it. And with Astrophobe, it was just kind of this, long drawn out, weird song. And then I added this whole other section.
It dropped out and added this whole section, and then came back in again.
Comes roaring back in, and so it worked out really cool.
Yes, it did.
And fortunately, the band is cool enough to let me
They didn't kick you out.
mess around with it.
And that's definitely a Berkeley like trick. That's awesome. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this now. A little secret squirrel thing.
Leah?
I'd say it's kind of that's like a really complex answer because I love them all. But I think the one that I like the best is in part because it's the most challenging for me, and that'd be La Llorona.
Yes,
me and Berkeley wrote that song together, and that's also partly why I love it. It was really, I feel like a great collaboration. Like, I gave him a melody, he gave me a song and lyrics, and then I came up with the melody. And at the time when the song was written, our old bass player wrote the bass line. Damien wrote the bass line. And then when he left, I had to learn it. So I had to like learn a regular bass line, but I'm already singing like this challenging part. So doing them together at the same time has been
work.
It was really, really hard at the beginning. And every time we practice, I feel like I get a little better. It gets a little easier. And I'm like,
oh, you totally got it.
Fuck yeah. I got yeah, now I feel like I got it, but it's still not easy. It's a challenging song for me, and it lets me stretch, and I feel like I can sing with like a full voice, and it's really fun. I like that one.
Before you were just singing it only and not playing the bass.
Yeah.
Other stuff and
so,
just belt it out, but now you got to do both. So
yeah, and it's a spooky, cool song. Like, I just love the story, the whole thing. It's a good one.
Still on our set list.
Yeah.
I think before I was in the band, I'm pretty sure they played Golden Moon at the show that I saw them at, and that song's been haunting me ever since I saw them. And now we play it, and I get to play like the cool lead part. And I just love it. I think it's a great
It makes us all cry.
It
makes me cry.
It's a crowd favorite. Everyone always comes up to me after the show and says, "What was that third song?" Or, it's always Golden Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a tissue.
It's a good song.
Maybe that totally rocks.
And Berkeley.
Well, I've got short attention syndrome, so it's whatever we're working on now. And actually, I'm really, really stoked that we're working on a song called Will It To Be, which is actually from a side project that Lia and I had started called Peacock, which is kind of... Oh, and Edward was in it, sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I
didn't want drums.
But it's
kind
of...
want it to be good. Oh,
the concept of the band is that it's this weird kind of cult band, and Lia was the leader of this cult, and it's all like...
It's pretty witchy.
Sex and Satan and
drugs
all this kind of
and
stuff, but done through like a folk music filter. And it was cool for what it was, but that project kind of stalled out a little bit, and we really liked the songs, and we were like, well, how about if we try bringing them into the band, into the Harpy Trail, and see what happens? And it was like magic. I mean, the song.
It's like better.
Amazing, really good. Right away, it was like, heck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get high off of it. It's just, it's so good.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Is there possibly a inspiration from the original Wicker Man? Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. I've definitely thought about that before, and thought about Nancy Sinatra and
I'm that poor girl. Right.
No. Nancy Sinatra and that guy Lee Hazelwood.
Yeah.
And they sing that song.
Which one's Sand?
No. What
about the flowers?
Yeah, Deidre is her name. Yeah, Deidre. Anyway, that for sure to me was like definitely a part of it, and it's got all that same kind of vibe. Like if you watch the music video. Anyway, short answer, yes.
Lia was this character that had escaped from this cult, and she and her friend were going to record all these songs that the cult used to sing in an attempt to sort of expose the cult for what they were, this awful thing. And then the story progresses where Lia then gets abducted and gets drugged out and put through all this kind of torturous experiments. And as it turns out, she's actually the leader of the cult, and this was all a test for her to sort of ascend to the next level.
It's
so,
like
yeah.
it's like a Fight Club.
Yeah, right.
For hippie witches.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I was definitely thinking of like a 60s LA cult kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely into that kind of whole idea. A little bit of inspiration from the movie Sound of Your Voice, which is really cool. So, yeah.
It sounds like you guys all get along really well, but have you found that you have a struggle coming together as a musician in a group?
Sometimes Berkeley and I have fights.
Yeah, Matt and I butt heads, but we've been playing together for, 10 years?
Yeah, we're like too brotherly to like worry about means anything, you know?
Yeah, we definitely push each other's buttons, but we know, at some point when to back off and when to, sort of apologize.
We're all trying for the greater good, and we step back and go, okay.
But there's still tension, which I think is good. I think that's healthy for a band. I think everybody's ideas should be put into question. And that helps improve. As long as in the end, what I want to happen happens, then it's all good. Yeah.
and Edward we got the memo. And Edward and Lia are married.
Yeah.
They're married, two married people to each other.
Yeah. So we don't.
They have their own tension, which is not even tension. It's more like cartoons farting out of their butts all the time. Pretty good. They're pretty fun to be around.
I think it's pretty normal for most bands to have like moments of frustration with each other, but it's just like any relationship where you're working creatively. Like people have strong ideas and sometimes they clash, or like people don't feel like they're being heard, or whatever it is. People have a hard day, and ultimately like we have more fun than not, and so we keep doing it.
I think we're mature enough to sort of like
set that aside.
Past
we're also all adults in long-term relationships, so we're not like, nah, this is all right.
Yeah.
We can handle it.
You know what bad shit is. This isn't really that bad.
Well, and I think we communicate well.
Yeah.
Like, we're not afraid to be like, hey, you know what? You fucking hurt my feelings. Yeah. And it's like we talk. And it's not like anybody's closing anybody else off.
The resentment isn't building, and we're like waiting for someday.
We're not like Metallica where we need to hire a therapist to help us talk about our feelings.
There's not enough money for us to be a therapist.
No,
we're too poor. We have to just work it out ourselves.
We don't do enough Coke and Jaeger.
Yeah. Someday.
But if that's what it takes,
we're willing to try.
And now, has there ever been any moment when you doubted yourself or the band, or questioned your decision to write music?
All the time.
Yeah, which moment, which reason do you want?
Well, I guess what brings that feeling on for you?
Creating stuff is real, like, self-reflective, and then you got the whole group dynamic, and you're like, is it good enough? Are they listening to me? Is this going to work? And where are we going? And these kind of things, like, probably for all of us come through the mix every so often. And but I think we have to sort of like faith in each other to that it's all going to be okay, because when someone's down, the other person's up, and they're going to pull us through it.
Yeah, and it's like even a weekly thing. Like, we all have full-time jobs, and just putting in the effort. Like, it takes a lot of work and money to practice regularly and have gear and be in a band and prepare for a show and record an album and do all the things that bands do. And so it takes a lot of commitment. And if you're not feeling 100%, it could be tiring. But then, like, you get to practice and you do the thing, and it's so rewarding and it's so fun. It reminds you, like, oh, right, I was just being a little bitch. Now I'm here doing it, and it's just like super fun.
Yeah, you're like,
I love it.
I forgot how lucky I am to be like doing this.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, it's I feel very fortunate. I mean, I've been going through a massive dry spell right now as far as writing, but I listen to our old music and I listen to the CDs that we've put out, and I'm like, you know what? That's pretty fucking good. And I'm pretty fortunate. I'm pretty fortunate to be
making this,
being able to do this with these awesome people.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I know I've really enjoyed your stuff since I discovered it, which I actually discovered through doing art shows. I was talking to somebody and they're like, have you heard this band? And I was like, actually, not yet. I looked it up and
someone knows us.
That's cool. That's my favorite thing to hear.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool. I was pretty excited to find you guys, and I've been discovering a lot of stuff since I've been doing shows and things like that. Yeah. So
if you ever need a soundtrack for performance art piece or something, we're here for you.
Oh, sure, very cool. That'd be awesome. I'll have to keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm hoping to do the show like seasonally. So I might actually, if I have time to prepare, I might actually have you soundtrack an episode or something like that.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I think personally, I sort of say that as a quip, but I really mean I've always felt like we're all sort of pretty artistic type people.
Yeah.
And Berkeley's stuff is definitely like pretty like dreamy, artsy. So our genre would be better for mixed in with art if there's a bigger scenario versus like here's that band's song. It's like here's that band's song accompanied with this light show and these painted up people or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's more like a better use of our stuff.
Oh, nice.
We got more than rock.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot actually. We're ready.
And we'd give you a discount on the songs.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
Just call our agent.
Yeah.
Let's get an agent, guys.
So, what components, in your opinion, make an artist stand out from the crowd?
I think it depends on the context. I know for me and Edward, we go to a lot of like live shows, and so there's definitely, as a viewer of that, there's like a charismatic quality to like a performance, and there's some people that stand out more than others, and it seems like they have this ability to put on a show regardless of like who's in the crowd or where it is, and they just fucking bring it every time.
Yeah.
And I admire that in people.
Even if there's like small crowd.
Yeah, they're just like they just sell it, you know, and you could tell that they care about their own performance so much. They've practiced, and this is like not necessarily an act, but like how they really are. They just like shine. I think that's part of it, but then also, you know, there's a difference when you're listening to a recording and there's like somebody who can write a great lyric or can tell a story in a way that makes you see a picture in your mind, you know, and that's very different. So to me, it kind of depends on like where I am as the audience to determine that.
I'm going to wholeheartedly agree with what you just said, because that performance, bringing it, just totally 100%.
Because some people, I listen to their album and it's not that great, and I see them live and I'm like, holy crap, that was amazing.
Yeah, you watch them do that with like their full heart involved. Yeah. It's like, you are a god.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on stage and the lights are shining. They got on their outfit.
Everybody should do it that way, right?
Yeah. They inspire me for sure. They inspire me to try harder.
We try to bring it.
Yeah, we do. We do try and bring it. We bring it.
And there's such a fine line for me anyway between, you know, a great theatrical show and just complete artifice.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get that first twinge of, you know, they're just doing this to do this,
following the script,
I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I'm not interested
it's
anymore.
It's boring.
Yeah. So when somebody is able to, I don't know, just off the top of my head, if you go see an Elvez show,
right?
I mean, that guy is just theatrical beyond belief and amazing, but he fucking sells it. And he's always got great bands, and it's just like amazing. So it's just, but
that's that thing, man. That's what matters. That's the thing that matters.
And he works on it, and you can tell he cares. Yeah, exactly.
His heart's in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all started with entertainment. It's all entertainment.
We're looking for the heart.
Yeah.
There's some ratio of like surprise and satisfaction that I think an artist needs to achieve, where they're surprising you enough for your taste, but satisfying enough that you're not like, you get it at least, you know. And that's what I look for a lot of the times. Because if there isn't enough surprise, then I don't care how satisfying it is. That's just pop music.
Yeah.
Right. They're trying to do something.
Yeah.
It's not just.
Are you taking notes for this later, Lia?
Is bad.
So when you brought up pop music, it made me wonder in my head. Are there any trends in pop? Because you spoke about it with a little bit of disdain. I had to notice. Are there any trends in popular music that you're noticing at the moment that you'd like to see changed or expounded upon? Or
oh, never mind. I was thinking about things we do like.
Oh, things you do like.
Yeah, like Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
And Annie Clark, same concept. These are popular bands. They're like He's over. Everyone's over here like saying like, no, that's not pop.
It is, but it has. That's what I'm saying. It has that element of like surprise and like.
But is it popular
it's
music?
like it's satisfying, but it's also like a little bit scary. It's like, what the hell's going on? What are they doing? And it's cool. It has that same element that like somebody like Pink Floyd would have or whatever band that you think is like interesting and bizarre and charismatic, but you also have to have like some element of pop satisfaction, I guess.
I guess the thing that we would like to see change is
more people come to our shows.
Yeah, no, in pop music though in general, that sometimes, and I agree with Edward, it sounds not like a commercial because it's in a commercial, but it sounds like a commercial because it sounds it's formulaic in the same way that a music used in a commercial sounds. So it's just like very predictable. It almost sounds like a lullaby or like children's music. Sure. And not that children's music is bad, but we are a little.
Well, like the idea is
we're too old for children's music because we're not children.
Like we're gonna row our boat again this next verse.
And then we'll sing all together about how we're gonna row our boat. It's just a little boring.
And I know it's not a new thing, but if there was one thing I could get rid of, it would be auto-tune. It drives me up the fucking wall. And it's become so like overused and abused to the point where it's just like I can't even tell. I need a little bit of human touchstone in the music. And I honestly don't listen to any pop music that's going on right now, unless somebody happens to play something for me. But it just seems almost 90% of the time I'm just automatically turned off because there's no organic quality to it.
So, I mean, maybe there is for the right people, but pop music's built for the youth, and we're not the youth anymore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm in a pop band, and I have a little more patience, I think, in general.
But you guys are good.
Good, interestingly.
The music's actually interesting. It's actually like it's
Leah's in another band.
They're all being really nice to me.
No, it's the music's actually very complex. Try and figure out one of the songs.
Actually, it's really hard. But I mean, we're indie pop, but I'm just talking like radio top, 100 Billboard hits.
Yeah.
Like, I'll listen to Beyonce. I will. I'll listen to it.
If somebody puts it on, I won't go away, but
I just love her. She's so Sasha Fierce. Like, sign me up.
I don't want to be part of that.
I can't help it. I love her.
No problem. I respect some of these people definitely hugely. Like, cause they got some of these people are genuinely skilled, and they got the craft, the creativeness, and the way the ability to make songs. So I appreciate that.
There are some things that are boring and predictable about it, though. I get it. To me, it's sort of like eating potato chips. Like, they're not good for you, but like they're kind of fun.
Hey.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna harsh on anybody's buzz too hard. I mean, it's just like you listen to what you want to listen to, and if you just want something that's in the background that is going to help you get through your day, then that's fucking cool. That's all right.
Ultimately, we love music, and we like music fans. So if people love music, we like what they like. I think we all agree, like, we respect other people's opinion.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let everybody find what they like and go with it.
Until I hear some hateful, misogynistic.
Oh
racist,
no, we're not into it. We're not into that.
No, I find it really interesting what you said about autotune. I noticed it a lot actually when American Idol first started coming out when I was younger. And I feel like people who have those really strange, unique voices, like say a Marianne Faithfull or Stevie Nicks or something. You're never going to hear that again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gone. So
I want to hear the human aspect of it. I want to hear the mistakes. I mean, I don't know. There's like some ancient proverb about how these Persian rugs are always incorporated with a couple little mistakes because nothing can be perfect.
Is that why you don't practice your guitar very much?
And that's why I don't practice my guitar very much.
I was listening to television, and I'm thinking, like, what's television without Tom Verlaine, like, warbling his voice out? I mean, he's not some amazing, like, I don't know, whatever classic singer, but he's interesting, and he's making
It's a great voice.
Like artistic mistakes, and it's great. I mean, it's like
it's identifiable.
Yeah, it's good.
You know?
That's kind of what I don't like about what's going on in pop music right now. Is I feel like everybody's trying to sound like each other, and I feel like I'm hearing the same song over and over again. There's no personality.
Right. Well,
the expression is where it's at. Like
I guess you could tell that the Harpy Trail does not auto-correct our vocals.
Well,
I mean,
there was one moment. Yeah. Did we ever tell you that we did that to you?
Don't tell her which song.
I've been shared. I mean,
there was
like shared. I mean, the CHER.
Yeah. Yeah, let's be clear about it. I'm trying to even think of what song it was. But it was on Solon Carcosa.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
we were going through the mixing process.
And there was a funky one.
It was like a one.
You were just a little bit off.
And I was like, Ian.
You don't have to tell everybody about one note on one song on one album.
That's the rule. It's an exception to the rule. One little nudge.
I'm like, we don't correct, and like, except for that one note on that one
whole
time.
Album.
Well, I just can't remember that if we had ever told you or not.
I don't know. Maybe you did, and I was like, please just do it to the whole song. Maybe we do need
it. But generally speaking, what you hear is what actually came out of our mouths.
Yeah, live was pretty.
Do you believe in love?
It was very good, actually.
There you go.
It's a fine Cher impersonation. Now, is there any event that you could foresee that would make you leave music altogether, and why or why not?
No.
The apocalypse.
Oh, that
would fire me up more.
Dismemberment?
No,
I can't.
I can't see it. What?
Yeah,
for me,
honestly,
I'm
if
dead
I
without
lost
it.
both of my hands.
Yeah.
That would be an event.
Still
yeah,
sing.
it would have to be a functional.
Okay, I could still sing.
That's true. You could still do that.
I would still make music if I was deaf.
Yeah.
You'd be like thump, thump, thump.
It'd be really bass heavy.
Dude, I think, I don't know, I'm pretty sure we all, well, I don't know, but tell me if I'm wrong, but
you're wrong.
Good enough. Next question. It's therapy for me. Like, keeps me sane, life is maniacal and aggravating, and playing music just takes that all away. It makes me feel like a real person again.
Nice.
I agree. I look forward to every minute in this band, actually.
Aww.
Even when we're having a crap practice, it's still better than like 90% of what I feel like I try to deal with, during the day.
Yeah, because you're doing something creative and inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like it's like I'm I'm living in the moment for a minute, when we're playing music. I'm just right there, and nothing else exists.
And how is that not like the essence of life, living in the moment, right?
That's the Zen. That's the thing.
That's the Zen shit right there, baby.
Well, I know for myself, when I'm going through conflict, I have a hard time writing, and it's not until after that, the floodgates start opening. So I'm just sort of blaming my recent, walk in the desert on the fucking Cheeto that we have as president, because it's messing with me, and it's messing with people I know. I mean, me in more of a existential state, whereas, people I know, it's actually affecting them, and in a really bad way. And so, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping to write again soon, but
I was hoping for some
right now,
rock.
I'm just, right now, I think I'm just still too much in shock. So that's the only thing that, stops me from writing.
I get that too. I had a couple people in my family die, and it definitely changed my writing. Like, it definitely put a pause on everything. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I still play. It's just not the same.
Yeah. It's your work sort of evolves with life experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
But getting pissed is kind of a good river to jump into for music,
Yeah.
And we're not. I don't know. I feel like playing drum because I'm the drummer, so I get to beat things, and that really releases a lot of tension, And I'm sure as playing the guitar, it does that for you too. But
well, for sure, and I like to rock out really hard with the best of them.
We have like 15-minute breaks in band practice where we're not even playing our music; we're just freaking out.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm not.
Jazz Odyssey.
I like writing those kind of songs, but that's sort of what we did in Nautical Disaster, and I'm more interested in sort of exploring the more kind of, out there kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah. You got to
I don't know where I was going with that. But...
Do what moves you. Do what moves you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Your creation comes from, it produces what it's going to produce, and that's that.
So now, where can people see or listen to your work?
Well, as far as listening, we've got a lovely website that Edward set up, theheartbeattrail.com, right?
Yes.
Not the Heartbeat Trail band.
Sorry,
No, it's just theheartbeattrail.com, and it's got a listing of our upcoming shows, which we don't have any of right now, but we're kind of all going on vacations pretty soon, so we were purposely not planning anything. But it's also got links to our Bandcamp website that's got all of our music on there. And normally you can find us at Black Cat.
Yeah.
They
seem to want us all the
City
time.
Heights in San Diego, which is a lovely bar, and Matt's a wonderful bar owner and always takes care of the band.
Yeah,
He takes care of the band.
It takes care of the bands.
And we have an excellent video on YouTube.
Yes, that
Edward made us last year, about a year ago.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's
Miraculously.
called Again and Again and Again, and it
all filmed with an iPhone in its majesty.
It turned out so much better than I could have ever.
It was so much fun doing that video.
This was all Edward's baby.
We did it all at Matt's house.
We did it right here where we're sitting right now. Some of it, yeah. And then Edward up at the lake and the machete and the
Yeah, it's kind of our riff on Friday the 13th. So yeah. Well, the song's dedicated to Jason Voorhees, so that makes sense.
Aww. He's a very precious part of my childhood,
Precious, I know.
I'm such a huge fan of Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Have you signed the petition to keep the statue in Lake Pleasant?
No.
Yeah, there's a statue of Jason Voorhees at the bottom of Lake Pleasant.
Oh my God!
At the bottom of the lake,
and they're trying to take it out, and everybody's signing a petition to keep it. And I'll try to send you the link. So.
Please. Why would they take it out?
I don't know.
Group vacation.
I mean, it can only get better. Right? I mean, like collecting algae.
Yeah.
And
it's just getting better.
Fish having babies on
art
them.
that's processing itself to get better things.
And someday he's gonna rise up from the depths.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He needs some algae to nourish himself, for God's sakes.
I'm hungry.
Just hope I don't run into him in Manhattan.
You'd notice him.
Manhattan. How did he get there?
Sewers. Come on.
Right. No sunshine. Problem. He's like freaking Forrest Gump.
Any camp counselor out here?
So, real quick, last question. If you guys could give me a pitch, if I was deciding whether or not to sign your band, if I was a producer, give me a pitch for what I can expect and what I can see and what you're going to bring to the table for me.
Well, I'm going to go for an A minor.
More of a B flat.
Nice.
Oh wait, that was it.
Or together.
G. Pitches work?
Actually, I was going to say our amazing harmonies.
You didn't need to say it, did you?
Yeah.
It's short lunch right there.
Proven.
Apparently we've been
you heard it here. But yeah, no, I think
like a third. Fifth is nice too.
High energy, great
Creative.
harmonies.
Ready to explore the nether regions of all dimensions.
Sure, yeah.
And lovable.
Yeah,
and lovable. Cuddly.
We're super cute.
Oh,
We're like...
We're really talking about Edward.
Oh no, I made him choke. Yeah, no, but really though, like, we're great.
That's good.
Like, why do you need to know more?
I mean, honestly, we're pretty great.
We're pretty great.
I think we're pretty great.
Yeah.
That's why we need to hire a PR
we have
person.
good taste, and trust us, we know good and we know bad, and we're pretty good.
We're pretty good.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need someone to write this.
Nobody cares. We
hire
don't actually care if you care, but that's a bad pitch. Let's see.
That's a really bad pitch. You need to work on
We
that.
don't care if you care. We're great. We care about it. We care if we care. We don't care if you care. Okay, start over.
Could we try the A minor again?
That pitch is better.
Yeah. Let's go with that one.
You know what always works? Your parents are going to hate us.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah.
We're talking marketing here, Ed. You are so savvy.
Nice.
Marty. Yeah. We get
What
three
is that
parental
garbage?
warnings on
It's
this.
the heartbeat trail.
I'm gonna throw that out. Oh, I want
Bunch of satanic drug users.
Yeah. We like homosexuals.
Yeah,
And we
we're-
like drugs.
like equal rights. Oh no. What next? Interspecies marriage?
Oh.
I'm for it.
No.
We do advocate that on a couple episodes of Creeping Wave, actually.
There you go.
Yeah. So with Sasquatches.
We're meant to be.
Hey, okay.
Nice.
We're all right with that. I mean, we play Mass Effect.
There you go.
We've had interspecies relationships.
Yeah.
All good.
How have I not written a song about Sasquatch?
I don't know.
Oh no, gone
All right.
squatching.
That's it.
There's your new.
gonna happen.
Take you out of the drought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasquatch crushes Cheeto.
Cheeto
Cheeto Bandito.
Our new concept album, Hirsute.
Hirsute.
All right.
Sorry we bored you so much.
No, you didn't bore me at all. It was exciting. I really love doing this because I love getting to know new people and hear what makes them tick and what inspires them. I'm really just sort of returning to the art scene after kind of a long hiatus. And so it's really fun for me to hear what drives people and what gets other people going, because I think everybody who's an artist or something has those days where they just lay in bed and staring at the ceiling and they're just like, yeah, can't get up today. Nope.
Yeah.
And so it's good to hear from other people like what gets you there, what drives you. And yeah, it didn't bore me at all. Very excited to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to debuting this episode. So I am, I'm going to just check the recording now, make sure that it took.
Oh, I
We'll
forgot
have
to press
to go
record.
It looks like our recorder is still going. Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Nap. And I just wanted to pop in here to thank you so much for listening to the show and listening to the interview. We got the Heartbeat Trail on this episode, and they were amazing. And I hope you guys will check out their music and all their shows if you're in the area. Also, I got a friend here. Say hi.
Hello.
Yeah. That's, of course, Weirdsley, the voice of Mr. Scratch. He lives with me, oddly enough.
Yeah. Sure do.
And I never let you forget it.
No, you're always there.
So, yeah. But it really means a lot to us that you're listening to the show, because I work really hard on it. And anyway, so we'd really love if you followed us on social media and let us know what you're thinking. We got all the social media sites that one might need. And you can always just go ahead and find those links by checking out that description box below. Also, we do have a Patreon, so if you want to help us out, help support the show, even $1 donation helps us a lot. It really means a lot to us. It helps us kind of keep us going, right?
It sure does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Even the sloth says so.
No, people don't know about the sloth.
Oh.
You can't just interject a new character at the end.
Well, he's not in the show.
No, I know. You
He's
can't.
in the apartment.
We have to record this all over again.
Why?
Because you ruined everything.
No,
You did.
no, I didn't. Trust me.
We have to record it now. So, for those of you who don't know, I do have a stuffed sloth that hangs out with me when I'm editing. And it's stuffed in that it's a stuffed animal, not like it's taxidermed, because that would be kind of awkward. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and post a picture online. And if you listened to this part of the show, you just go ahead and leave a comment and let us know your opinion of sloths. You see, the sloth is my spirit animal. It is a noble creature. And yeah, so that this is going to be like the proof that you listened all the way to the very end, is that you will know of the sloth. Okay, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.